What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Rivet City Radio. Today we're stepping into Gillinor and the wild world of RuneScape 3. But not as a max PVMer, not as a 20-year vet, but as someone who only picked up the game slightly over a year ago for the very first time. And this got me thinking. As we get ready to close out 2025 and roll into 2026, is RuneScape 3 actually worth playing as a new player? This video is 100% my honest take from learning the combat system, surviving the absolute horrendous UI, unlocking new content, making GP, and surviving the absolute best I can. Here's what it's like joining one of the longest running MMOs in gaming history as the quintessential new guy. Now, before we dive in, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and if you enjoy deep dives into games, quests, and whatever nerdy chaos I find myself into, this is the one for you. Now let's get going. Now let me paint you a picture. I was looking for a new game, preferably an MMO, something grindy, something with big bosses, something to kill time, and something I could dopamine farm with. Click screen, numbers go up, me get happy. Enter RuneScape 3. I've heard the name, never played. I knew nothing about tick systems, prayer switches, or ability rotations, or the fact that in reality there are two different RuneScapes, and depending on which part of the community you find yourself in on either side, there is only one real RuneScape. Different video for a different time. So, me being me, I clicked to log in and I just hoped for the absolute best. Now, let's fast forward a year. I've put in a few hours, got a few 99s under my belt, I've done the full Necromancy storyline, I've unlocked curses, got my fire cape, got my Zut cape, all that's done. I've got the dabble in the Iron Man life, sort of, with leagues. I got to my Adamant Trophy, gonna cash those points in at the end of the leagues. I'm hovering between mid-game and in-game PVM, I'm pretty hooked. But getting here was a totally different story for me. I wanted to pull my hair out at times, and because of that, let's talk about the grind a little bit. The user interface has an incredibly steep learning curve. Being able to copy layouts from your favorite streamers is an absolute win. But there's definitely still a learning curve because with everything you can do in the game, you'll still have to take the time to make their user interface your user interface. The UI itself is overwhelming at first, with the menus on top of menus on top of menus, and inside of those menus are tabs on top of tabs on top of tabs, but somehow, once you learn it, it becomes oddly comforting. It's like a weighted blanket made out of pure freaking chaos. When discussing the combat system in RuneScape 3, it's a lot like learning an NFL playbook. You have abilities, they have cooldowns, you have to learn about the adrenaline bar, you have to learn about prayer flicks, you have to learn the tick-based combat system itself. The tutorial for the game teaches you how to kill a rabbit, but then they're going to throw you into a world with 10 different ability bars. You have to learn all those abilities in a combat triangle, but the combat triangle itself is actually a combat square, thanks to Necromancy. Then while learning all these abilities, you have to learn how to use them. Then you have to make sure you have the right gear to get the best out of those abilities. That's not even mentioning DPS rotations, hybriding, or tribriding for PVM. And let's be honest, in 2025, EOC and the Revolution system are both allegedly very different than what caused the Civil War of 2012. So, arguing about EOC in 2025 seems null and void. Revolution saved my life. Revolution plus a little bit of manual made the game a hell of a lot easier. I'm not at all ready for manual combat. Necromancy is the newest skill and newest combat style in the game. It's powerful, it's stylish, but as a new player, it almost felt like it made the game too easy. It was like you're skipping the natural progression, because when you play with mage, or you play with melee, or you play with ranged, they have this very old school feel, no pun intended. Necromancy is still very cool, still very accessible, and it helps you learn the flow of the tick system. But at the end of the day, if the original combat triangle feels like it was bolstered and built on tradition and heritage, Necromancy came in wielding nothing but pure vibes, smoking a blunt, and just ready to rock your socks. The quests and the lore side of RuneScape are one of those things when you join a game 20 years late to the party that you always feel like you're behind the curve on everything. RuneScape's quests themselves have all been incredible. I'm not a huge quester, I'm only recently diving into them, about a quarter of the way to my quest cape. The stories are deep, the voice acting, surprisingly good for a 20-year-old game, all the way up to the new stuff. Pretty solid work done across the board. But as a new player, as somebody just diving into it, if it weren't for the Wikipedia page, if it wasn't for my clan, shout out to Abby and GK and Evan and Brandon Durf, all of the boys and girls and the idiots, those guys saved my life. There's almost zero in-game guidance. It's really tough, and with there not being a main story path or no hand-holding, there's a whole lot of go in, figure it out, do what you can. And at the end of the day, being successful in quests in RuneScape, you have to want to figure it out. You have to want to be good at questing. The skilling aspect of RuneScape 3 is probably my favorite part of the game. Skilling can be the most relaxing part of your day, or it can be the most overwhelming part of your day, all based on how you decide to play the game that day. As a fresh player, trying to make gold for gear or bonds or supplies at first felt very daunting. Luckily, this is where the community comes in, because this game, even in 2025, and even with all the hate from the OSRS community and some of the other, far reaches of the internet corner, the community in-game itself seems to be great. There has been far more help and aid and very few toxic interactions. So RuneScape 3, in my opinion, that's one of the best things going for it, is the community is great. It's not as big as OSRS, but it's just as tight in 2025. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, just boiled down to the nit and gritty, RuneScape 3 is not an easy game to dive into in 2025. But if you stick with it, if you grind, if you lean into the community, you use the right tools, and you commit to learning the systems, it becomes one of the most rewarding MMOs out there. You'll go from killing cows to killing gods, from being in Lumbridge trying to figure out what the hell's going on, to chilling in Prif with your boys, with your own style, your own gear, and your own set of goals. So in my opinion, at the end of the day, is it worth playing? Yes, infinitely times yes, if you are patient. Yes, it's absolutely worth it if you love progress, discovery, and lore. And yes, more than anything, if you're okay with using Google and Wikipedia a lot. For me, I'm addicted. I play every day, premium membership, starting in Iron, the whole nine. And I keep pushing and deeper trying to figure out what I like most about the game. That's just it. That's what's best about RuneScape, is because at the end of the day, it's about what you make it. That's what makes this game great. So what do you think? Are you going to give RuneScape 3 a shot? Are you a new player looking for a new MMO in 2025? Are you jumping over from WoW? Are you diving over from OSRS because you wanted to get into leagues? Are you a returning vet? Drop your thoughts, drop your tips, drop your horror stories in the comments. Let's help each other out. And as always, like, follow, subscribe, unsubscribe, then subscribe again. Leave a comment telling me how great I am or how terrible I sound. Either way, it helps the algorithm and it helps find new listeners. And as always, this is Rivet City Radio. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me.